with Coach Jody Wright. Coach coming off of his first career win as a head coach and off of a bye week leading into Missouri Valley Conference play. We'll open it up for you guys to hit Coach at this time.
Long week, 2 weeks off here, coming out of the bye week. Just what have you learned about your guys in this extended kind of practice period?
Yeah, during the bye week, our main goals was get better as a football team, and usually that's on fundamentals. Blocking, tackling, throwing the football, catching the football, rushing the football, different things we could clean up. And you also want to do some self-scout and kind of say, hey, what have we done good the first 3 games? What have we done bad? What can we do with the personnel we have? Which I think we got some of that answered, some questions answered. And we got some guys. And the second goal you usually want to come out of the bye week, I believe, is try to get as healthy as you can and fresh mentally and physically. And I challenge the guys to go home, enjoy their hopefully a lot of them got to go see their high school football games and visit with family and stuff like that. But it was definitely nice. Coaches, we got to go out and do a lot of recruiting. Of course, we'd worked on North Dakota a lot before we had layoffed, so we had a good start on the game plan. Of course, then they played Saturday, beat San Diego 41-24. So getting in here Sunday and getting that game broken down and evaluated. But excited for the challenge this week. But I definitely think it was a productive bye week.
Coach, you coached in an SEC program, but you've never been the head coach within the SEC of the FCS.
Yes.
Well, you got to be pretty excited because this is your first ball game as a head coach in the SEC.
Yeah, some of the time, that's a good question. I do feel like you're playing back in the SEC sometimes with especially these Dakota schools, and there's so many talented teams in this conference from a size standpoint and skill sets of the teams we're playing. But definitely excited to start conference play. Like I said, it's exciting because there are no bye weeks or what you would call some people call a breather game. There's no such thing on this schedule and especially in this conference. But it's going to be a great challenge going up to North Dakota. They've got a great atmosphere, their dome and everything. And Coach Bubba Swigert's done a great job. I think he's been there 11 years. They're coming. They just won their 3rd straight game. Will be their 4th straight home game. Like I said, they had a really good victory last week against a really good San Diego team. So we're gonna have our hands full. They are got when you notice them on tape, the one thing that stands out, I believe number one, they're extremely talented, fundamentally sound. And they play extremely hard. So that's a credit to their coaches and just their team and culture, the way they've played. And they've played a lot of good football around there for a lot of seasons.
Coming off of that bye week, coming off a win, heading into conference play, this kind of provides you guys a really good chance to get a little bit like a soft reset. Say, hey, 0-0 in the conference.
Yeah.
It really starts to pick up now.
It is. We can challenge our guys. In our conference is, of course, our first conference game. So it's definitely a chance to start your conference play. And it's kind of, you don't want to say, it's kind of like, in the NFL, sometimes you have preseason. College game, you don't have preseason. And we definitely had our ups and downs in these first 3 games. But I do think we've improved every week. Sometimes that we probably may not have shown, but I've been proud of the way we've played. I thought we've played with some great effort, energy, and relentless at times. I think last week was the first time we kind of all 3 phases put it all together and kind of played with some composure and some smart football, and hopefully that can carry on.
Well, as we're starting conference play, obviously competition is going to get tougher and tougher each week. Looking a few weeks in the future, you got a couple teams in both the Dakota States where you can make an argument they're the best FCS team in the country. What's the mentality? What's the message you're sending to your guys now that it's only going to get harder?
Yeah, it's our message is kind of just trying to be 1-0 and getting better each and every practice and each and every season because unfortunately in this conference, you sometimes I know teams like to work ahead and think, well, there's nobody in this conference. I think that reminds you very similar playing in the SEC or the NFL that every team is talented and every team's probably playoff worthy in this conference. So in North Dakota, I mean, they are definitely, like I said, all 3 phases, very talented. They've put it on tape and play extremely hard. They execute their schemes well. So we're going to have our hands full Saturday. Find a way is our motto, so hopefully we can.
Isn't this what you dream of as a football
Oh, yeah.
player?
I love it. I love big games and big road games are fun, and getting to go into an environment like this will be special. I'm talking to some guys on our staff that had played in this conference before that got to be around this environment. Have talked about how loud it is and everything, and I know they're going to be fired up coming off 3 straight home wins, and this being their first conference game as well. So it'll be like I said, it's a neat atmosphere, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably remind you of some SEC stadiums and all that with as loud as it'll be.
What's the loudest SEC stadium you've been in?
Probably LSU at a night game. LSU night game that's hard to beat. Mississippi State is very loud with the cowbells, and South Carolina, night game at Williams-Brice is unbelievable. Alabama is great. Auburn, they're rolling. It's pretty loud there too. About all of them are pretty loud. I've been on the good end of some wins at a lot of SEC stadiums. I've also lost some games at some of those too, and so you gotta really feel the volume of celebration from the other side. But it's a great time, and Saturday was really neat. I challenged our players to try to watch some games and learn some stuff. Good and bad, and how different guys handle so much you can learn watching games, whether it's situational football or just, style of play and different things.
Also, where having a guy like Jody comes into play, being that he knows.
Yeah.
He kind of knows the opponent here.
Yeah. I was talking to him. I think he said he's going to have close to 10 family members at the game. And, Zeb Nolan, our quarterback coach, of course, played at North Dakota State, and Jaden. So, they've been in this conference before in this arena, and they both, talked about how challenging it is, a place to play, and what a great tradition North Dakota has.
Just strictly on the field, I'm sure you've had plenty of time to look at them and get ready. I think you
Yeah.
over there. Just what do you make of the matchup with North Dakota?
Yeah, they, like I said, in their front, they do a lot of different things on defense. They create a lot of chaos, and just watching some of the San Diego game earlier, they had some guys break on the ball. They're relentless on defense, and they can, like a lot of teams in this league, they can run the ball effectively. Special teams, they're solid as well. So it'll be the one thing about this league, I think, the more and more you watch film, you notice that they all tackle well and they all block well, which is usually, and they all have pretty good ball security and play, I'd like to say, fundamental football really well, which is usually a sign of why it's probably so many of them win a lot of games and have won a lot of games, and it goes back to a lot of the good coaches in this league, and they've recruited well and developed well. So that's one thing we're trying to focus on, is getting better at our fundamentals, because when you play a team like North Dakota, your ball security stuff's got to be at a premium, and if they ever have the ball in jeopardy or anything, you better take advantage of it, because that doesn't happen a whole lot either.
We've been talking about 65 new players have been here. We've been concentrating on that a lot. We still do have some folks who were here last year and could have easily beaten this team. You sensing a little bit of a redemption factor for those returners this week? Yeah,
that was one thing I thought about this team last year, and watching a lot of their games last year. And guys, they were in some games, and I think anytime guys have been on a field that they've played an opponent before, you hope they come away with some confidence that they've played them as well. But I know North Dakota's got a lot of new players, and we do too. And I think our guys trying to build confidence that you can win a close game, and you can finish out a game, which we didn't finish our game out against Butler. But that's one thing we've got to keep building on. And a lot of teams in this league, the style of play they play, the physical style they play is kind of like a boxer. They're going to body shot you to death, and then when it starts getting around that round 8 through 12, they're just going to knock you out in the fourth quarter. And so I think we are. I feel like we're in better shape. Credit to our strength staff, Corey Sullivan, Josh Miller. I think our guys are getting in shape, and having so many new players, I think getting here they are starting to, I think, believe in playing with each other better together, and it's starting to show up better in practice. Of course, we got to execute it on Saturday, and this Saturday will be no different, a big test on the road in a hostile environment. So, but I think just building, I challenge them every day. I know I say it over and over, but just trying to get 1% better every day.
You said a key word there was confidence. You know,
Yeah.
How big was it to get that first win coming out of your non-conference
Yeah.
schedule, heading into this one? You know, just for your guys, for yourself, and for any momentum.
Yeah, it makes makes the bye week a lot fun, a lot more fun coming off a win. It's a lot easier going and recruiting players and talking to players and just being out in the community. Coming off a victory is a lot nicer, but it does help. I think anytime guys, because they've done the work. They've done a lot of stuff, but to actually have it come to fruition and to execute it was really nice. And I think like I said, we try to challenge them all the time. Don't get tired of doing what's right, on and off the field. And I was proud. I went this morning, was checking some classes, and everybody was at class, so that was a positive. So now hopefully everybody's getting a lot of extra film on North Dakota. And like I said, we're gonna have a good physical practice Tuesday and Wednesday because we got a lot to get ready for on this team, and it's gonna be a physical game, we know, and it's gonna take our best.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.